Today we'll continue with traditional long division. Do you remember the phrase that we used last time to remember the steps in long division? Say it. Does what? Does McDonald's sell cheeseburgers? Divide, multiply, subtract, check, and bring down. So just remember that. Does McDonald's sell cheeseburgers? So you will see this throughout our long division skills. So let's go ahead and again, this will not be in your math journal. It will not be in your packet. You will need a sheet of paper or you will need your whiteboard to complete this. So let's try some different problems today. Let's try 609 divided by 7. So go ahead and write down 609 divided by 7. All right, and we'll remember that D does divide. McDonald's, M, multiply. Does McDonald's sell? S, subtract. Does McDonald's sell cheese? Check. And lastly, does McDonald's sell cheeseburgers? Bring down. So let's go ahead and start with asking ourselves, how many 7s are there in 6? Well, there's not. So I have to say, how many 7s are in 60? How many 7s are in 60? Well, if I start with 7 times 9, that's 63. So let's go down to 8 times. So I went ahead and divided. Now it will take 8 times 7, which is 56. I multiplied. Now I subtract. I check. Is 4 smaller than 7? Sure is. And then next, I bring down my 9. How many 7s are in 49? Start the process all over again. How many 7s are in 49? Again, I cannot emphasize, and I've been saying this since Christmas time, at the end of the year, to memorize those facts. So 7 goes into 49 7 times. I just divided. Now I take 7 times 7, which is 49. I multiplied. Now I subtract. I check. Yes, 0 is larger than 7. And then there are no other numbers to bring down. So this number divides evenly. Let me just show you. 87 times 7. 7 times 7 is 49. Carry your 4 over. 7 times 8 is 56. Plus 4 is 60. 609. Remember, honesty is doing this with me and not just watching. All right, again, divide, multiply, subtract, check, and finally bring down. All right, let's take 374 divided by 6. The first thing we asked ourselves is, how many 6s are there in 3? There's not. So we're going to go ahead and say how many 6s are in 37. There are 6 of them. Next thing I do is multiply. 6 times 6 is 36. Next thing I'm going to do is subtract. 7 minus 6 is 1. I'm going to check. 1 is smaller than 6. Next, I will bring down my 4. How many 6s are in 14? 6 times 1 is 6. 6 times 2 is 12. 6 times 3 is 18. That's too many. So it goes in there 2 times. 2 times 6 is 12. I went ahead and I divided, multiplied. Now I'll subtract. 4 minus 2 is 2. I check. 2 is smaller than 6. Is there another number to bring down? There is not, so I am done. The answer is 62, remainder 2. I can prove to you that 62 times 6. 6 times 2 is 12, carry your 1. 6 times 6 is 36, plus 1 is 37. Then I add in my remainder, and I get back to 374. Let's go ahead and take 607 divided by 3. 607 divided by 3. Does McDonald's sell cheeseburgers? Ask ourselves how many 3s are in 6. Well, 3 times 1 is 3. 3 times 2 is 6. So it goes in there 2 times. Divide. Next, does McDonald's, I multiply. 3 times 2 is 6. Does McDonald's sell? I will subtract. 6 minus 6 is 0. Check. 0 is smaller than 3. So next I'll bring down. Bring down my 0. Now I cannot bring down another number because I still have to go back to the top and divide again. How many 3s are in 0? The answer is 0. Then I multiply. 0 times 3 is 0. I subtract. I check. Yep, 0 is still smaller than 3. And then is there another number to bring down now? Yes, there is. Notice it doesn't say, does McDonald's sell cheeseburgers, burgers? You can't bring down 2 numbers right after each other. You have to go back to the top. So now I just brought down that number and I start again. How many 3s are in 7? 3 times 1 is 3. 3 times 2 is 6. 2 times. Then I take 2 times 3 is 6. Next I subtract. 7 minus 6 is 1. I check. 1 is smaller than 3. Is there any other number to bring down? No, there's not. So now I am done. 202 is our answer with the remainder of 1. Now, had we not put that 0 in there, we would have had 22. And let me just show you. 22 times 3 is 66. That's not even close to 607. So that's why you need to make sure that that 0 is in there. Let's go ahead and try another one. Let's take 1,742 divided by 8. 1,742 divided by 8. Does McDonald's sell cheeseburgers? Divide. Same with me. Multiply. Subtract. Check. And bring down. So how many 8s are there in 1? No, there's not. So then we take the first 2 numbers. How many 8s are in 17? 8 times 2 is 16. So now I multiply. 2 times 8 is 16. Next, I will go ahead and subtract. Cell. 17 minus 16 is 1. Check. 1 is smaller than 8. If 1 wasn't smaller, it just means it could have gone in there one more time. Now, is there a number to bring down? Absolutely. I cannot bring down another number until I go through this whole process again. Does McDonald's sell cheeseburgers? Divide. How many 8s are in 14? Well, 8 times 2 would be 16. That's too many, so just 1. Now I take 1 times 8 is 8. Does McDonald's sell? I'm going to go ahead and subtract. 14 minus 8 is 6. I check, is 6 smaller than my divisor of 8? It sure is. So now, is there another number to bring down? Yes, there is. I'm not done because I have 62 left. I can never have a number left that's larger than my divisor of 8 this time. So I start the process all over. And I say, how many 8s are in 62? Well, 8 times 8 is 64. That would be too many. So let's go with 7. 8 times 7 is 56. So multiply 7 times 8, 56. Next, I subtract. Remember, your job is to do this with me. Be a trustworthy 4th grader and do what is expected. 12 minus 6 is 6. I subtracted. I check that the 6 is smaller than my divisor of 8. Is there any other number to bring down? No. So now I am done and the rest becomes a remainder. So my answer is 217, remainder 6.